when you're going to be creating your assignment, the first step obviously would be to go and have a look at the rubric, read it from the first page, read all the requirements included on the table to understand exactly what is required of you. Once you've done that, we're going to go and have a look at our course that we're going to build. And remember when we spoke about it, the most important thing about online courses is planning. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan our course, and when we start planning, then we're going to be able to build the structure, and we're going to be able to build all those requirements that you need. So firstly, we're going to be looking, remember in Unit 6 we looked at storyboarding. So we're first going to look at our module. We're going to check that we've got our learning outcomes. Then we're going to develop the assessments, then the resources, and then the activities. So we're going to do this for each section of our course. But let's start with an example. So for example, you did DTX and it was divided into 2 days. But hypothetically speaking, let's think that we had DTX, and what we decided in the way that we wanted to build our course structure is we actually wanted to divide the course into units. So instead of having day 1, day 2, we would have unit 1, unit 2, etc. So now for your assignment, you don't need to do more than 3 or 4 units. We don't expect you to do the whole semester's units. So in the example I'm going to use, we're going to just really look at units 1 to 4. Okay, so we know that we have the outcomes for the course. So we know that the first step, remember, is to have the outcomes. So we have our outcomes for our course. Then the way we're going to structure our course now, we've already decided, is we're going to have those 8 different units. So if we have a look at the course that I've built, you will see that we have Welcome to DTX section. This could also be an overview section or a welcome section. This is really where you're going to have, or an introduction section, where you're going to have just those important aspects that are normally covered in your handbook, an overview of the course. And then you can see I've structured it so that I have Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4. It would continue to Unit 8 and then have my assignments. But like I did explain, we're going to only do part of that. So that's how you're going to structure your course. Remember, you're going to structure your course by using the gear icon and selecting the kind of way in terms that you want to structure your course, either be weekly or by topics. This is by topics. Okay, so if we go back to our document, we're going to see now we've got our outcomes for our module. So this is something that we want to have in the overview section, because when our learners first enter the course, so we think the first time they enter the course, they're going to go to that welcome and overview section. And what we want to include there, according to the rubric, is we want to ensure that we've got a nice lecturer welcome video. So you go and have a look at the rubric and see exactly what is required from you in that introduction video. We also need to make sure that there's outcomes. So those outcomes should be well written in terms of using Bloom's taxonomy. We also want to have a bit of an overview. So if you, while we're busy planning, we might have already our planned program for the week or for the semester. So here you can see I've got an 11-week semester. I have already broken down my course when I'm in planning. This will be the program for the semester. So I want to share this with my learners on the overview page so it's quick and easy for them to understand the overview of the course, how the course is going to be broken up. We also want to give them details about the format of the course, so how it's broken up. So you can see already that we've got the different units, but you might want to just include the names for each of one of the units. You want to include maybe the requirements for the module. For example, if you're offering NQF levels 3 and we got 3 credits and we know it's 30 notional hours, it's important to put this information there for the learners in the overview section. So when they enter the course, they know, okay, this is how much time I need to spend on this course. This is how the course fits into the bigger program, etc., etc. And then the final requirement that you also want to ensure that you have is a list of course activities. So that is detailed in the rubric. So if you have a look at the rubric, you will know that in the rubric, it requires you to have a lecturer welcome video, requires you to have outcomes, asks you to have a bit of an overview about the course of the format of the course, etc., as well as a list of course activities. So let's have a look and see what we've done. So if we have a look here, we can see here is our welcome section. You see that we start with please watch the lecturer welcome video. So I have included a lecturer welcome video. We move down the page and you see that I've used the Dables tool, but you can use I've used the page tool as well. So it's your choice in what kind of tools you want to use. But firstly, my learners have now watched the welcome video. They know, oh, okay, this is Nikki. She's going to be the facilitator for the course. All that information that's required is included there. I now have given them easy access to the outcomes, so they know I might have mentioned this already in my video, but now they can quickly have a look and see, oh, what am I going to learn in this module? What am I going to be able to do at the end of this module? Once I've done that, I've got a course overview section. So this I could have done once again in the label, but what I decided to do this time was to use the page. So if I have a look at the course overview, I can see, oh, it's a 4-credit module on NQF level 6. The module will run over 11 weeks and be divided into 8 units. So it explains to the learner very clearly what's going to be covered. It gives them the program of the course. The good thing about doing this here is that if there's any changes, you don't have to change, you only have to change it in one place. So it's always good to have your program of your course on the overview page. So if there's any changes, any information, you can change it here, send out an announcement, and you don't have to worry about students having old documents that might have different dates on. Okay, so you can already see from the way that I've set up my course that every Friday afternoon there's a compulsory live session. So I'll give them the date of that. I can also include the link to that if I wanted to. So in the overview, once again, they will know that what is expected of them, that they need to, each week that they're going to have to prepare for that live Friday session. Okay, so if we think about our overview section that we've had so far, we've got the lecturer welcome video, we've got our outcomes for the module. So this is a module as a whole. So I don't want to know just the outcomes of topic 1 or unit 1. I want to know the outcomes for your entire module. This is normally regulated by your CHE, QCTOs, etc. Then we have our module overview. What I've also done is I've included a prescribed book because I now want our learners, when they start the course, I want them to get ready, download the book that they're going to be using, so they can click on the book and download it. And then they can also have a look, and this is very important, because it's a good 6 marks in your assignment, is the list of activities. So I've got a detailed list of activities for the whole course, not just per module. So each activity that the learner will be doing is completed in this table. You'll see I've done a little bit of a shortcut. So I've done unit 1. It should include all the units, and then I've just included the final assessment as well. So what's included here is the activity. So for unit 1, they're going to do a discussion about teaching with technology. This is actually going to be a live session on that first Friday or the second Friday. It's a self or integrated learning assessment. So there's no marks allocated to it, but it's going to take about an hour of the learner's time. Then you can see as we move through the module here, we have a 4-hour group assignment. So we already know that it's some collaborative work. 29th of March it's due. It's a formative assessment. It's going to count 10%, and it's going to take learners at least 4 hours to complete this activity. So this is what you will need to do for our course overview section. All right. Finally, I do have a section in terms of how to contact me, because it's always nice to have this centrally for our learners to find. So on the overview section, the last section I have is that if they have any challenges, they can contact me. I put my email address. I have virtual office hours, so what the learner can do instead of having to come to my office, they're more than welcome to do that, but they might need to make an appointment or something like that. But I have virtual office hours where I have a Teams call available, so I have a Teams link available to them. I haven't included it here, but you can also just mark that you would say that you would, in the link will be attached later, but you want to contact you during office hours, how to log in, and then they can discuss any issues with you. All right, so that is basically the course structure and the course overview that you would need to look at. We're going to, in the next video, I'm going to focus on topic 1 and how we're going to make sure that our course is structured consistently, good navigation, and once again, very importantly, constructively aligned. Okay, thank you.